Hi, I'm Devastation. I'm a board certified lactation consultant, and I've been in the birth world for about 5 years now. And I wanted to talk to you today about things that have been going on in the world, give you my thoughts on this. This is the first video that I have scripted because it's a lot. And so if you see me looking down to read, that's why. Over the past week in the U.S., the government has shown exactly how little support they have for families, moms, lactating people, and the health and safety of them. Not only did the Supreme Court overturn Roe v. Wade, a decision ruled in 1973 that the Constitution protects a pregnant person's bodily autonomy, privacy, and liberty to choose to terminate a pregnancy. But then the Senate also failed to pass the Pump Act and the Formula Act, two pieces of legislation that would have helped millions of people to feed their babies. The Providing Urgent Maternal Protections for Nursing Mothers Act, also known as the Pump Act, would have expanded the protections of the Break Time for Nursing Mothers Act that was passed in 2010 to include salaried workers and employers with fewer than 50 employees. Currently, the Break Time for Nursing Mothers law states that employees must allow nursing employees break time to express milk as often as they see necessary for the first year postpartum. However, this only applied to hourly workers. And businesses with fewer than 50 employees could be exempt if providing break time would have been a burden for them. The Pump Act would have given about 9 million more people the protection to express milk at work in order to feed their babies. It would have protected salaried workers from having their pay docked for pump breaks. It would have ensured coverage in cases of adoption, surrogacy, and stillbirth, because whether or not you are able to provide milk to your baby or have a baby to provide milk to after you give birth, that milk will come in. And the Pump Act would have protected employees' right to express milk for up to 2 years postpartum instead of 1. So why did the Pump Act fail? One senator blocked the act, saying that it would have been burdensome for the transportation industry to be able to accommodate its lactating employees. The Break Time for Nursing Mothers Act states that employers must provide a separate space that is not a bathroom, that is free from intrusion from the public or coworkers for people to express milk. Republican Senator Cynthia Lummis of Wyoming said this would be burdensome for railroad companies and further hurt the supply chain, even though the railroad industry hadn't cited any concerns at all. She was just speculating and objecting on that point. Ms. Lummis's objection single-handedly affected millions of families. So we can't allow you to express milk to feed your baby because capitalism. Got it. So can we help those families provide formula for their babies, since breast milk or formula must be a baby's only source of nutrition for the first 6 months, and main source of nutrition for the whole first year. The Formula Act would have helped expand access to formula during the current formula shortage crisis, but the Senate blocked that one too. The Formula Act would have waived tariffs and regulations on imported formula and would have relaxed the rules for formula covered by WIC. For those of you who don't know, WIC is a supplemental nutrition and education program in the U.S. for pregnant, postpartum, and lactating parents, as well as babies and children up to the age of 5, if they're income eligible. In many, if not all states, having the medical card, Medicaid, automatically qualifies you for WIC. I worked for WIC for just over 2 years as a breastfeeding peer helper and certified lactation counselor before becoming an IBCLC. Something many people don't realize is that WIC is only supplemental. If you're exclusively formula feeding, WIC does not provide enough formula to last the entire month. And they only cover specific brands and types of formula that state currently has a contract with. This means that when a name brand like Similac is recalled, WIC participants cannot use their WIC benefits to purchase other brands or store brands of formula if their state has a contract with Similac. They're only able to purchase the exact type and size of formula listed on their benefit receipt, so they cannot substitute a concentrate or ready-to-feed formula if their benefits specifically state that they are to purchase powdered cans of formula. The Formula Act would have made it so parents could use their WIC benefits to purchase any brand of formula, but it was blocked over safety concerns about relaxing the regulations. For months, stores have had bare shelves where formula should be, since Abbott Nutrition, the maker of Similac formula, issued a recall and closed their Michigan plant because of contamination that led to several infant illnesses and at least 2 deaths earlier this year. That same plant had to close again after a storm in June caused flooding. So, this shortage isn't going to be over anytime soon. I am so very sad and disappointed and scared for families who are continuing to struggle to feed their babies. I know not everyone can or chooses to nurse or express milk for their babies, and formula is so important. I'm going to continue supporting families and helping them provide as much milk as they can. Maybe if we can help parents who are struggling with lactation reach exclusive breastfeeding or mostly breastfeeding, we can free up some formula, though that never should have been an issue. It shouldn't be on the parents to continue to make sacrifices where there could have been help. Breastfeeding should not have to be all or nothing. And I often say that it doesn't have to be. Any amount of milk you give your baby is better than none. And I have seen this amazing community of moms and parents who are pumping specifically to donate milk to families in need. Milk sharing is how our species survived, but it's not without its own risk. You can never know for sure if the donor or if the milk donor has any transmissible illnesses or what medications they may have in their system, and you cannot know if the milk has been adulterated with water or any other type of milk. Beware of anyone attempting to sell breast milk. Monetary gain makes it much more likely that the milk has been watered down or is not human milk at all. So be very careful if you are looking to get donated breast milk. Make sure it's actually donated and you vet the person. Many donating moms are very open about any medications they take and what their diet's like. So make sure you go through those proper routes if that is something that you're choosing to do, and always discuss with your baby's doctor first. There are organizations that facilitate milk sharing and strictly prohibit the sale of milk, such as Eats on Feets and Human Milk for Human Babies. These organizations have state-specific groups to help families and milk donors connect. And they do permit donors to ask for breast milk bags to be replaced in exchange for the milk. That's pretty common. As for formula, please do not attempt to make homemade formula. It is inadequate in nutrients for baby and can be taxing on baby's kidneys and very hard for them to digest and process. Please do not dilute formula or water it down. That can quickly lead to malnutrition and electrolyte imbalance and can be fatal. Babies have died from this recently. So please make the formula according to its instructions. Even if you're running low, speak with your baby's doctor about possibly getting sample cans of formula. If that's at all possible, speak to them about other types that might be equivalent to what your baby's used to getting. The FDA has approved some imported formulas that are being flown in, but it's inadequate in amount. We go through millions and millions of pounds of formula each week in this country. If you're using the imported formula, be sure to properly convert the milliliters to ounces. 30 milliliters is equal to 1 ounce. So just make sure that you're being accurate in your mixing of the formula. If you have formula you don't need, including those unsolicited samples that formula companies love to send out to expecting families, even when they're planning to breastfeed, make sure they're not expired or recalled, and donate them to your local food pantry or put them on your local buy nothing groups. Someone can definitely use that formula. Don't just throw it away. Also, consider calling your local WIC office and ask them what their policy is on returned formula. The USDA put out a policy for WIC in 2019 that recommended WIC clinics do not donate, but instead destroy all formula that is returned to them. In the clinic that I worked at, it was state policy that participants must return unused formula that they purchased with their WIC benefits if they needed to change the type of formula that they were going to be getting. So, for example, if the participant was getting Gerber Gentle and the doctor that gave them a prescription for Similac Alimentum, the clinic would ask that they bring back any unopened cans of the Gerber Gentle when they went to the clinic to get their benefits adjusted. That extra formula would be thrown in the dumpster. It would not be donated to a local food pantry. If that's the case in your local clinic, urge them and your state WIC headquarters to reverse that policy and encourage donation of extra formula. I will link an article about how Georgia has done just that below in the description. And finally, contact your state representatives and tell them that feeding our babies is essential, and urge them to fight for breastfeeding support and formula access that we need. I hope this video has been useful and informative. I know it's not hopeful right now, and I know a lot of people, myself included, are not okay right now. So take care of yourselves. Hug your babies and your families. Be aware of what is going on in your state, and be gentle with everyone around you. It's just hard right now. So do what you need to do to take care of yourself and your family. Drink water, take a walk, lift some heavy weights, whatever it is that you need to do to be okay right now. If you're struggling with mental health issues, please reach out to a mental health professional. I just made myself an appointment. Teledoc and telehealth appointments are fabulous. They're a great option, especially if you can't afford to drive somewhere to go to an appointment. Gas prices are also ridiculous. So I know things are hard right now, and you are not alone in that. I don't know that I'm even going to edit this video, even though I screwed up a little bit in the beginning. I just wanted to be open and give my reactions to this, and I hope that someone finds it helpful or useful, or at least like a connection to someone else who can say what you're feeling. Leave your comments below. If this was helpful for you, I'd appreciate it if you liked, subscribed, and shared this video. I think a lot of people don't even know that the Pump Act and the Formula Act were possible, that they were things that were going to, or hopefully should have happened, and been passed through the Senate, even though they both passed through Congress, with support from both sides. guess we'll just see what happens. And I hope that things are going to get better. I'm here to support you all. Leave any comments that you have or questions below. And thanks for watching.